It's time now for County-Wide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Brad Miller as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives here in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's County-Wide.
Welcome to County-Wide. I'm Paul David. Good to have you in studio with us today. Yavapai County Supervisor Chip Davis is with us. How do you do?
Good morning, Paul.
How's your summer going?
I don't know where it's gone.
I know, right? The whole year is actually like that.
We're in the middle of August, and we haven't accomplished nearly as many things as we want to do at the house. We haven't been able to vacation. We haven't been to the lake. It's
back to school hit, and I'm like, oh, we haven't done any school bus stories about watch out for school buses and stuff. And back to school hit, and now Labor Day weekend is not this weekend, but the weekend after, so that's creeping up on us. So yeah, just poof.
Yeah, we were geared up to take the grandkids on a shopping spree for back to school clothes, and lo and behold, school's already started. They're already got their books. And
crazy.
Yeah.
Making time fly by so fast on us like that. Let's get into it today. Since I've got you in studio, I wanted to kind of ask you about your take on the Yarnell Hill fire and what the county's job was with that during that event, and what is still taking place down there right now as far as the county's, I guess, responsibilities, whether they be or not be.
The county has been there since the very start of the fire. Our emergency management folks have been heavily involved. They work with the incident command unit. Denny Folk primarily has been one of the main folks there, and as it started to unwind on July 30th, County Supervisor Rolly Simmons had went up to the fire site to make an inspection, and he met and chatted with all the firefighters, and you know, it was less than an hour when he called in tears because the men that he had just talked to had just perished. Our sheriff was on site at the time. Our sheriff's personnel were really involved because we were dealing with the evacuations and trying to maintain the safety of Peoples Valley and Yarnell. At that time, Peoples Valley was what we thought was the critical area. From that point on, our roads department came in with dozers and built fire lines and built roads into where the 19 fellows were. And then our folks got them out. Then our medical examiner took care of the bodies and dealing with the families. And then I think all of our staff had been involved with dealing with families and firefighter unions and City of Prescott and U.S. Forest Service. And then we fast forward to the fire was finally extinguished. We still had to maintain the evacuation and kept Highway 89 shut down for
quite a while,
about 4 additional days, trying to make the place look like what we see on the television of Afghanistan or Iraq. I mean, there's telephone lines and telephone poles laying across the road and burning, and houses were completely devastated in ashes. There's nothing but concrete footers. Just, it looked like a war zone. So anyway, we then got to work to try to get the community safe for the homeowners to come back in and at least assess their situation. From there, we monitored it. We still didn't open it up to the general public. We wanted to keep just the homeowners, property owners in there. Development Services went in, set up a station so that people could immediately start getting help with rebuilding their homes, rebuilding structures, whatever they were. Emergency management was and is still on site, so is Development Services. Flood control went in and immediately assessed the potential of flooding with the loss of vegetation to all the washes and neighborhoods, and so we got some emergency mapping. We had some aerial flyovers, and then did elevations, and then mapped out the town as far as flood potential. Then
was any of that found in there?
Oh, quite a bit.
Quite a bit?
Quite a bit. And the thing with Yarnell is it was the majority of it built prior to the building code.
Gotcha.
So we started the building code in 1968, but the majority of Yarnell was built prior to that.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So Yarnell's been around for a long time. Yeah, okay.
So that's created a whole other set of problems, because now you have homes that were built in flood zones or their septics didn't perk, and so now in order for them to rebuild, they have to comply to current zoning laws and Arizona Department of Environmental Quality.
So that doesn't kind of stay grandfathered there? Like if somebody's house burned to the ground, that's not kind of grandfathered the way they had it there, it doesn't count, huh?
No, and we really strive to make it as easy as possible, as painless as possible on these folks. They've been through enough.
Right.
But unfortunately, there's certain things that you can't overlook. I mean, it's for their own safety too. So
sure.
We've been trying to whittle the bureaucracy out as much as possible and make things quick and easy. And we've had cleanup crews in. Volunteers are amazing, showing up in the community, helping people clean up. People from all over the state of Arizona. There's been a number of folks from the Verde Valley contacted us when the fire was going and said, hey, we want to get up, organize crews, get up there and start helping people. The outpouring of sentiment from Arizona citizens is amazing.
Just the whole world, actually. I mean, the firefighters and police officers from, all over the nation came to the Quad City area to help out. I think we even had a fire team from Hawaii come out. They flew all the way over here and actually came down. It's amazing.
Actually, there was some...
We are very good at that in Yavapai County. When there is an emergency, we really do gather together very well. I've noticed that over the years, that this county really comes together and helps each other out.
It makes you proud to be part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. It really is awesome.
So
what's going on today? Down there right now, countywide?
Well, development services still on site, emergency management still on site, flood control still improving structures on drainage, still have roll-off dumpsters and loaders and helping people clean up their properties. And
so that's still going on? All that cleanup is still going on? Wow.
And, we'll get a jump on it and have it behind us in a couple more weeks and be moving on and forward.
And then we got the French Gulch fire right now, which is 5% contained at 615 acres. So I guess they're hoping to have that one contained by Friday, is what they're saying.
That's what I heard on my favorite radio station this morning.
Well, you probably heard me say it too, huh? All right, let's take our first break, okay? That gives us a nice update from the county's perspective on what's going on down there in Yarnell. I want to get that first from you while we talk this morning. I'm Paul David, Yavapai County Supervisor Chip Davis in studio today. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have two ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Here in northern Arizona and throughout Yavapai County, people count on Orkin Pest Control. With over 100 years of combined experience, nobody knows how to protect your home or your business from harmful or annoying pests like the Orkin Man. To start service, contact your Northern Arizona Orkin Pest Control. In the Verde Valley, call 567-5100 or Orkin Pest Control in the Prescott area at 775-8772.
Did you know the average 6-room house collects up to 40 pounds of dust, dirt, and mites each year? Air duct cleaning not only makes the air you breathe healthier, it saves you money by allowing your heating and cooling systems to run more efficiently. Dryer vent cleaning also improves efficiency and safety. The oldest vent cleaning service in the Verde Valley, Brandywine Air Duct Cleaning, is your answer. Professional, quality service, and great attitude. Brandywine Air Duct Cleaning, 634-5149. Ask about senior discounts.
Welcome back to Countywide. Thanks so much for tuning in today or listening, whether you're listening or viewing is what I mean to say. Yavapai County Supervisor Chip Davis in studio today. Real quick, going back to the Yarnell Hill fire, we recently found out that the state was denied major disaster declaration, so FEMA funds not available there. So how does the county feel about that? I know the governor is going to try to fight that.
Yes, there has been appeals. I think our Representative Andy Tobin has appealed that decision, and he actually joined hands with, Andy's the Speaker of the House, and he joined hands with Chad Campbell, who's the minority leader down at the legislature. They've joined hands, and so there's a bipartisan approach to appeal that decision. Mm-hmm. The sad part of the FEMA declaration is that we can't help folks as readily that didn't have insurance or were underinsured.
That's always been my concern since this fire's touched off, is that so many people down there lost their homes, and now they're just kind of in limbo down there, and they didn't have insurance. Mm-hmm. Some of the elderly folks, limited income. What's going to happen to those folks?
There's assistance, but there's also, again, we spoke earlier of the volunteers, but there's been a number of fundraisers, people raising money for Yarnell. Mm-hmm. The focus had been on the 19, but the Yarnell folks are getting a bit of help from volunteers.
Well, I know they formed their own organization down there too. And we had a couple of those folks in here that were talking about how they've mm-hmm. kind of taken the bull by the horns by themselves down there.
I think that's Raising Yarnell is the name of the coalition.
Yeah, maybe Ryan can whisper it in my ear and we'll mention that. But so that is really great. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how the appeals come out of this. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we're still moving forward. I mean, there's enough organizations and things we can do in preparation, cleaning up properties and getting things prepared. And, there's been assistance with housing. Mm-hmm. So it's not a total catastrophe. We do have help.
Right, we do still have help. Mm-hmm. After all, we are Yavapai County. It's the Yarnell Hill Recovery Group. That's who they are, the Yarnell Hill Recovery Group. I know they've got a fund and they're helping the folks down there that are having trouble. And I think they're keeping track of just about everything down there. They're doing a good job of that. Let's switch gears. I think I asked you last time you were in here, but how is the county handling how are you handling the going from 3 supervisors to 5? How's that still working out for you? It's going to stay that way, obviously.
It is very good.
Yeah?
It is very good. Mm-hmm.
Expand on that, please.
Well, I think the purpose of an elective government is, you elect ordinary citizens to office to do the interaction between government agency and the public. And we have a really unique blend of all 5 of us, and it's brought a great perspective. You see things through different eyes. Mm-hmm. I think the best change that I've witnessed and the most pleasant surprise is that all 5 members are very respectful of each other. There isn't any backstabbing, there's no maneuvering or laying out landmines for the others to trip on. And so consequently, we do have differences of opinion, but we're able to carry on that debate without creating personal feelings.
Wow, now there's a task right there, right?
It's been nice.
Yeah, that's quite the achievement right there, just to get past that.
It's been nice.
Yeah.
Well, and I can't say, I would be hypocritical to say that it was everybody else's fault in the past.
Oh, right.
Sure, I had my finger in a bit of that, but, I strive to be a better person every day.
All right. How's the budget?
The budget, we just did our final act of finalizing yesterday. So mid-August, we complete the process. We start the process around the end of February. So we've been undergoing it for some months. Then we do a lot of public meetings and garner input. We meet with all the departments. And at the end of the day, what we have for this fiscal year is $190 million, almost $191 million total budget. and the general fund budget is $89 million. The difference between the general fund and the overall budget is general fund is what we raise through property tax, sales tax, state shared sales tax, vehicle license fees. From, there's a portion that comes from the state, a portion comes from all of us personally through personal tax. Then the overall budget has to do with federal grant programs that filter in, that Yavapai County administers.
Mm-hmm. Up or down from last year?
Overall budget, the overall budget was down 1.9%.
Down is good.
Down is good. The general fund budget is up. The levy is up 7%.
Why is that?
Because we couldn't keep it afloat any longer. We had been lowering property taxes, trying to respond to the economy. Philosophy was, the economy stinks, real estate values are down, jobless rates are up, so we need to keep trimming government, and we kept trimming government, and we've gotten to the point where we can't maintain. One of the things on county government, you're primarily funded by property tax, and property tax is a 2-year lag. So the value of your house today, we tax it at what it was 2 years ago. Well,
Okay.
2 years ago, the economy and the real estate values were, probably at its worst point. So we're still generating revenue at the worst point in the economy while the economy is still recovering. So,
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that's how that worked.
so 2 years from now, we'll have today's value on there. So consequently, we've gone for the last 5 years without purchasing capital equipment such as computers, vehicles. We've cut down to just the bare necessities of prolonging expensive replacement equipment. We've gotten to the point where we can't maintain that anymore. So what we did, the Board of Supervisors also sits as the Board of Directors for the Library District and the Flood Control District. So although we increased the tax rate that you pay by 7%, we offset that off by a 7% decrease in flood control and library district. So it comes out to a zero change to the property tax to the property owner.
Great.
And it's not a shell game, and it's not moving things around. It's our attempt to not increase what you pay in your property tax, but to make things work and make them healthy. And so I don't want folks to think, keep moving things around and keep your eye on the P.
Right, right. Real quick, the hiring freeze, does that remain in effect in the county right now?
We're still holding a 10% hiring freeze. We're anticipating a growing economy. The state sales tax numbers have been up. Yavapai County revenue generations have been up. So we're anticipating getting back to a normal, healthy economy in the next couple of years.
Okay, let's take a break. Yavapai County Supervisor Chip Davis in studio today. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Here in northern Arizona and throughout Yavapai County, people count on Orkin Pest Control. With over 100 years of combined experience, nobody knows how to protect your home or your business from harmful or annoying pests like the Orkin Man. To start service, contact your Northern Arizona Orkin Pest Control. In the Verde Valley, call 567-5100 or Orkin Pest Control in the Prescott area at 775-8772.
Move over, AZ. Arizona's move over law requires you to move over or slow down when you drive past any vehicle pulled over with flashing lights. Any vehicle means emergency responders, roadside assistance, law enforcement, highway crews, even stranded motorists. Ignore the law and you could pay a fine. Remember, every vehicle, every time. Move over, AZ.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got a couple minutes left in the program. Real quick, I wanted to ask you this question when I had you coming in today. Is there any word on when the Yavapai County Fair is going to kind of get back to normalcy? Because it's been a few years since we've actually, I mean, we've had sort of a substitute, but you know, I guess I'm looking at the traditional county fair with the barns and the displays and the animals and everything going on.
Well, we're waiting for some stability on the Yavapai Downs property. Mm-hmm. That, of course, has been through a number of transitions over the past 10 years. Went from the Yavapai County Fair Association, which dissolved, and then it was taken over by Yavapai Agriculture and Equine Board, something like that. Mm-hmm. Then they dissolved. Then it went into bankruptcy. Then the fellow bought the property. He was attempting to get horse racing going there this year, Memorial Day, and had some revenue problems, and so we're hoping for next year. But once we get the site stabilized, I think that fair will be good to go. The fair in Yavapai County has got a bit of a weird history because we don't have one central fair. We kind of have the Verde Valley Fair, and then they call it the county fair, but that's more for the Prescott area folks. The Verde Valley Fair Association is doing very well. The property's being improved, and they still have all of the 4-H and animal programs and plant programs and arts and crafts. And so that one's rocking and roll well. The Prescott one, we hope it gets back to a steady state here as soon as Yavapai Downs gets squared away.
All right, all right. Well, good job. Thanks for coming in today.
Well, it was my pleasure.
Yeah, you answer all the questions very well. You're free to go. Okay. Yavapai County Supervisor Chip Davis, our guest today. I'm Paul David. This has been Countywide. We'll talk to you again next time.
This has been Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday as we tackle the hot topics and talk to the decision makers across Yavapai County. That's Countywide with Brad Miller and Paul David each Tuesday and Thursday on this Yavapai Broadcasting station.